absolutely bonkers. Now, what's interesting about these Scottish hate crime laws that are coming in is that it protects transgender people from hate crimes, but it doesn't protect women. Only transgender is on the list, but gender is not on the list of people who can possibly have a hate crime committed against them. Now, the SNP has launched this hate monster campaign, which our contributor John kindly made a video for us on, which I will recommend you go and watch. Now, if you just take a quick Google, look up the Scottish hate monster campaign, and you will see there that the article, one of the first things it says is that young white males are the most likely to commit hate crimes.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah,
demonizing these
have they
people.
taken
It's
it
just
down?
horrendous.
they probably have taken it down. There
No
you go.
way. That's what John's video did. It's had an
Well
effect.
done, John. Well done, John.
There's
But
actually, if you go onto their YouTube, you might still find the video, the hate monster video. If you look up the hate monster on YouTube.
Well, Susan has said, "Oh, grow up." She's speaking the truth. When we all stop pretending this nonsense, we can start living again and make this country a better place. And I have to say, I completely agree. I really do. We just have not got time to be focusing on these issues. And I just feel deeply sorry for all of those whose lives are going to be turned upside down, because it's like the Stasi had a love child with the Keystone Cops. You know, this is the bureaucratic nightmare straight out of Orwell's fevered imagination. This is the world we're living in, Alex.
Yeah, it's really scary. And this is such a massive distraction from what's going on, not just in Britain, but around the world. We're living at the height, the most tense point on the world is balancing on a needle thread at the moment. It's crazy. And we've got these people who seem to think that they're special and above the law, demanding we legislate for them, demanding that politicians give them privilege over women. This is men again. This is mostly men, trans men, that are going after women's rights, going after women's spaces. The same left that were just a few years ago radical feminists are now the exact opposite to that. This is the problem. It's when is the next thing? And I worry about what the next thing's going to be, because if you told me 10 years ago in my 20s that we were going to be having a conversation about what a man is, what a woman is, I would have laughed. I would have laughed at you. It's got so bad in one decade, this sense of privilege and this sense of, you know, I should have more laws than you. I should have more rights than you because I'm this special person. Well, I really fear for the future of our country. I really do, because one day these people will be our politicians.
Yeah,
You're
and I mean,
absolutely
it does
right,
say
Alex.
it's just to quickly read that out, Chloe. It says fury over Police Scotland's hate monster campaign because this bizarre advert supporting Humza Yousaf's new hate crime laws, as we said, coming into force on April 1st. Slammed for suggesting offences are mainly committed by young white men from deprived areas. Well, statistically, Chloe, I'm afraid that is complete and utter bollocks.
I haven't seen the exact stats on which groups, but I don't think that the person that wrote the article really took a deep dive themselves. They thought, who is evil? I know, young white men. We will put that first in the article. It's just absolutely bonkers. So I'm not surprised that they've taken it down. Going back to what Alex was saying there, you're absolutely right, Alex, that the world has bigger fish to fry than debating what a woman is at the moment. We're letting the country fall apart whilst we all talk about what a woman is. Now, you might say, well, aren't you hypocrites because you're talking about it? I don't want to have to talk about the trans issue. I don't want to have to debate what a woman is. But the reality is that if we don't fight this fight, I hope that we can and get it over with, we are going to let them walk all over us as they currently are. You know, you're living in a failed society when you can be sued for saying that only women have periods. And the trans agenda is so evil because what it does is it puts really strict conditions on living a normal life. You cannot have a job and earn an income unless you run your own business if you don't subscribe to this trans ideology. The reality is now that you always have to be self-employed if you want to have an opinion on anything, especially gender ideology. You cannot come in our building if you are not happy with the fact that we allow males, biological males, into the female bathroom that you're going to go to the toilet in. If you say anything about that, you're not allowed to come into this public building. This has a real impact on people's lives.
And can I
Yeah.
just tag along the back of that quickly, Chloe, as well? Because you're right. What's happened over the last decade is that we haven't spoke about the people that are infiltrating legislation. Essentially, they've been very quiet. They've been very loud, but the rest of us have gone, "Oh, what a laugh! Just let them get on with it and have their day." They've snuck in through the back door. There are a very,
Mm.
very small minority of people, actually, very small minority, but they are very loud. And
Oh,
until people start talking about this, and people who are on the opposite side of the debate show actually we're voters and we don't like this at all, then it will continue to infiltrate our society to the point where it's legislated against, and then it's game over.
it's going to be a hell of a lot worse under Labour. Devil's advocate extraordinaire has commented on YouTube. They'll have so many reports for so-called hate crimes that it will, in the long run, devalue true hate crimes. Absolutely right. And it goes back to that point that we said before about the far right label. But if you dare question any of this, as you've rightly identified, you better be prepared for the consequences, right? Just ask Maya Forstater, who lost her job for expressing gender critical views. And by gender critical views, by the way, I mean believing in biological sex and single sex spaces. There was Rachel Mead, who was a social worker who was suspended for a year for the crime of liking a few tweets. The message, even at my own football club along the road there, there was a woman lost her membership of the club because of the fact that she had tweeted things about the self-ID, and the Premier League had their own form
Mm.
of Stasi investigating this. The message is absolutely clear to me. You toe the line or you face the wrath of the trans Stasi. And here's the thing, right? That women have absolutely been fighting for centuries to have their voice heard, their rights respected. And I don't think that women watching this should sit down and shut up just because some bunch of deluded blokes in dresses tell them to, right? From the
Mm.
suffragettes to the second wave feminism, women have absolutely always been at the forefront. They were on the side, many of them, on the side of gays at the time as well, on the fight for equality and justice, genuine equality and justice, not trampling over the rights of other people. But now, with the likes of Amy Ham, that we just mentioned, and Elspeth Wrigley, they're taking on the trans Taliban and their authoritarian agenda. And I think we've got to do more of that. And I'm probably about to be arrested right now because
You,
there are trans cars
But
in the Northumbria rather, police have trans flags on the
it's
side of their cars. I'm a
it's
goner. I'm a
comical.
goner.
It's
you know
comical.
what? I
But you
get
know
so
what?
many messages from people saying, "Thank you so much for speaking the truth," because I can't, because I would
Yeah.
lose my job. And that just saddens me so much, knowing there's so many people who can't post anywhere anything about their political views because they will lose their ability to earn an income, put food on the table for their family, and pay their bills. That is horrifying.
Mm.
Yeah, it's extremely horrifying. I mean, I work with a lot of business people in my spare time, in my real job, should I say? This is my
Don't
spare
know how you
time.
still got a job,
Uh,
Alex.
I know, but I'm lucky to work in a company that my boss actually hates all this stuff, and he wants to see the end of all the wokeism because he won't hire, and many business people won't hire these radical lefties. They'll take one look at their profiles and go, oh my God, this person is going to be a political nightmare. They're going to take offense to everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give name badges out. And businesses just want to make money. And so they're getting big companies like Google and Apple. Well, they've got so much money, they can't go bankrupt. But most small businesses live, year to year, month to month, quarter to quarter. They live like the rest of us do. And so they haven't got time to be wasting talking about these things. So I do think you will see this sustained in the big companies, which is unfortunately a big problem when they're generating AI. We saw that recently where you type in make me a picture of a Nazi, and it was probably a black woman or something, because you have to be diverse. It's a problem when they do control the future, but I think you'll find most businesses are just so sick of it.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk, and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.